At 13,000 feet, my head is rushing, that's for sure. I thought this was something I wanted to do, but looking out of the aircraft from more than 2 miles up in the air, I'm not so sure. The things we practiced on the ground, like quickly letting go of the wing strut, are much more difficult at this altitude, but once out of the plane, there's no climbing back in. While David and I are headed belly first to Earth, I'm having trouble with my goggles. They fly off my eyes, and at a 120-mile-per-hour free fall, I can't look anywhere but straight ahead or up. David realizes my problem and tries to help, but he puts the goggles on my lips, and that's no help at all. I can't do anything, like look at my altimeter or even pull the ripcord. That's a very important task that I'm supposed to do at 5,500 feet. So David has to do it for me.
No, I never could open my eyes. I'm sorry.
Hey, no problem.
I couldn't do it.
I can hardly catch my breath as I apologize to David for not doing anything that I was supposed to do while free falling. But now at least we're at the easy part. The free falling lasts about 45 seconds. The floating lasts about 5 minutes. You can also see another sky jumper in the shot. That's Penn, the man who dove out of the plane with a camera mounted on his head to get shots of me parachuting. I've seen Jimmy and Bethany make a picture-perfect landing. I, too, hope to end this on a good note, but not gonna happen. We're coming in too fast.
Okay.
And knees up, feet up, and flare. All you got. You okay?
I'm fine, are you?
Yeah, I'm fine.
It was the scariest thing I've ever done, and if it wasn't for this man right here and the good Lord above, I wouldn't be living right now.
Well, she did a great job. We had a good time. It was fun.
I didn't do one thing.
I may not have done one thing right, but if I live to tell about it, it's considered a successful skydive. Whether I do it again is a question I can't answer right now because I'm still reliving that instant that I knew I was about to jump out of a perfectly good airplane.
But I'm telling you that when the door to that plane opens, my gosh, your life passes before your eyes.
Born to be wild. Born to be wild.
Well, I decided I'd watch these nice bikers ride long enough, so I asked Patsy and Sam if I could join them for a ride. And of course, they're anxious for any excuse to get out there, so you guys ready? All right, we'll see you out on the road. If you're not expecting to see the DC-8 jetliner nestled in the woods of Cheatham County, you can really be taken aback. It's almost like coming up on a crash scene, except this plane is intact and the pilot is alive and well. Red actually found this DC-8 in Smyrna, of all places. It was one of only 2 places in the country that worked on DC-8s at that time. And to get this plane to Cheatham County, it had to be cut into pieces. As a matter of fact, this tail section was so tall, he had to cut it off and it had to be laid horizontally. Also, it took 5 flatbed trucks to get each of these pieces to Nashville from Smyrna, traveling at a maximum of 25 miles per hour, and just during the overnight hours, it took him almost 28 days to get the plane in all totality to Ashland City. One of his biggest songs to soar to the top of the charts was John Connolly's Miss Emily's Picture, which actually had a big impact on my life in 1981.
Look out my window and what do I see? Nothing but pain looking back at me. And all that my future means to me is tossing yesterday's love out into the wind. Straighten Miss Emily's picture wake up in the morning in a state of fright.
That's almost gonna make me cry, because you know what? When that song was a hit, I thought that phrase, looking out the window and what do I see? Nothing but pain looking back at me. That's when I knew I wanted to be a writer. I didn't know if I could ever be a songwriter because I couldn't play anything by ear. I can play the piano, but not by ear. But that's when I knew I wanted to be a writer.
I'm not a big believer in getting my horse in trouble just to prove I can get him out of it.
And of course these horses are asked to go to all different places and even go across bridges, things that you and I take for granted, but horses would not normally want to do, especially a bridge that could teeter-totter just a little bit. But Joe here does a great job.
And then cut up into bite-sized pieces ready to be packaged into the boxes for the stores.
I couldn't just sit on the sidelines watching the cashew crunch being made. I was like a kid in a candy store, literally. I had to get involved. I really just wanted to play in the corn syrup.
Since cashew crunch is their signature item, I just had to know how to make it. So I got Jesse here, the expert, to tell me. We start with white sugar.
White sugar.
And then
Brown sugar.
2 scoops of brown sugar.
2
full scoops, right?
Yeah.
All right, that's good.
Okay, that's good.
And now you're gonna make a little hole for
We
me.
make a little pocket here.
My
The
favorite
reason we
part.
make a pocket because we don't want the corn syrup to get around the bowl and it sticks. So we make a little pocket and it holds the corn syrup.
Okay.
And you come over here and you just dip it in there lightly,
Okay. Let it.
enough to cover, and then you pull out.
Okay. Ooh.
All right, now take it and just twist it real good.
Twist it. Oh, look at that.
That's okay, it's gonna roll off.
It's heavy.
It's gonna roll off.
How much? Like that?
Okay, let it roll off. Now twist it again.
All right.
Now
Are we
if
good?
you can,
Get
let
it
that
off.
roll off. Now roll
Okay.
over this way.
Okay, ready?
Yeah, there you go, now go.
I don't want to go on the floor.
There you go.
I got it. None on the floor.
There you go.
All in the batch.
You just hold it high and it'll run off itself.
Oh, isn't that fun? Oh, I could do this every day. No wonder you love your job.
I dare not get too involved or the profits could end up on the floor.
It's not just the memorabilia hanging on the walls. If you're lucky enough to get one of the booths, you can see some original Coca-Cola napkin holders, as well as the wall jukeboxes. Some of these wall boxes came from a truck stop down the road from years ago when you used to could play the jukebox at your own booth. Hey, how are you doing?
I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. I'm just hungry.
We'll fix that up for you.
Well,
It looks good on there.
Well, I understand that your cheeseburgers are supposed to be just the best in the world.
Cheeseburgers are great.
I want the deluxe cheeseburger. And I look over here, instead of the french fries, do you have the broccoli bites?
Yeah.
That's really interesting for Stratton's Diner to have broccoli bites. I want those. I want those. That sounds great.
Is that going to be okay?
Perfect. I can't wait. Thanks. Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, I thought I could wait on you, but I just couldn't. The cheeseburger was unbelievable, so I'm down now to my last bite. It was absolutely delicious.
As beautiful as those sunbeams are on a sizzling summer day, they can make you beg for deep, cool water.
One of the neatest things about canoeing and kayaking, there are places all along the way where you can stop and cool off and take a dip and go for a swim. And if you've got the courage, you can really cool off.
There's just something about the water and being in the middle of nature that has a therapeutic effect. For some, it can be almost spiritual.
Come on, brothers, let's go down to the river to pray. And I went down to the river to pray, studying out in the good old way. And who shall wear the robe and crown, dear Lord, show me the way.
David Miller found his kayaking experience to be that way.
Out here in God's country, I felt God, you know, much greater than us and part of his great creation. So,
Couldn't help but sing.
nah, yeah.
Come on, brothers, let's go down to the river to pray. And